Hello, Will here, and today we are in Gran Turismo, and we are going to be doing a video on two of the FIA races, Manufacturers series. First one is in the Nürburgring. Now I know the Tokyo was round one, but unfortunately I completely forgot to actually record videos for that one. But in the end on that one, it went alright. It didn't go amazingly well. I think I finished like 12th in the end. My qualifying wasn't very good, but I think I did manage to get up a couple of positions. But unfortunately, it was sort of like penalty city in that one again. You know, lots of penalties for everyone everywhere, this and the other. But unfortunately, I forgot to actually record the video, and I forgot to save the replay, or at least save the replay. So we're going to be starting with round 2, which is at the Nürburgring. So, Group 3, Jones recording. Now, before I was saying about recording, unfortunately, I can't remember like this whole thing with rolling starts, and I know some people have said like in the past like that they're not huge fans of rolling starts because sometimes you can start in an area that's basically pretty bad, and as you saw there was two people at the beginning. One of them actually ended up going into the pits and the other person just spun out because they suddenly started on the actual corner, and so obviously they had to accelerate to get going, and it caused them to spin out. So it's like, if they want to keep using rolling starts, they do need to try and improve that system somehow. How they're going to improve it, I don't know. But maybe with like FIA races is to maybe not have rolling starts in them, and just have the standard starts with like actual false start ones. Not just like you just there and go. It's, you know, have the false start, put a false standing start on for the FIA races, so then people don't suddenly spin out right at the beginning like what they did there. But not a lot we can do about it now. So unfortunately they just had a really, really horrible start, whereas my start's been alright. Now you are going to have to excuse me if I mispronounce any people's names or can't read people's names, as again as I've probably mentioned in previous videos, a lot of the time with the recording I'm actually got two separate little screens on my big screen at the moment. One's a red block, let me know I'm recording, and the other one is the actual video. But since it's small, a lot of the names a lot of the time are it's very hard for me to see the names directly sometimes. So I may mispronounce some people's names, or I may get like time gaps wrong, but I'll try and remember from memory if I can. Or abbreviating the name. Keep things simpler. Alright, so by the end of now lap 2, we managed to come up about 3 positions, something like that, 3 or 4 positions, you know, so we haven't had a bad start, not an amazing start, but not a bad start. The Swede in front of me in P11, I think his name was like Ingen King Singen, I think. I'm just going to call him a Swede for now until I actually see his name properly. But he must have had a pretty horrible start, because I'm pretty sure he started in about P2, I think he started in position 2, so he's had a bit of a horrible start. Not the best start for him, but he will come back later on. And somebody goes off there, pretty bad day for them. But yeah, so this race, so no fueling was required. Again, as so was with the actual Red Bull Ring race, which also will appear in this video later on. It would be the second race in this video. But also there was no tyre requirement. I think this race was just, you're on hards, that's it. So it's, for me, it was a bit iffy. Trying to drive this car on a harder tyre, so that's why I couldn't push the car as hard as I would like to, because I was stuck on the racing hard, so it's all like, it's a bit But I managed to come up to P10 now, so not gone too badly at the moment. So I got, I think his name is, it's an Outer Elo 13. I was gonna call him Elo. So I got Elo. I believe that is the Toyota. I believe that's the Supra concept. Group 3. So I got him behind me. There was some pretty close racing in this. You know, I was kept on my toes. I was put under fire quite a bit in this race actually. So yeah, the race began with me. I was put under fire at the beginning of the race, and then things calmed down a bit, and then near the end, I was slowly getting drawn back in to be put under fire again. It's that, you know, it's that kind of race. This one. So we're gonna see what we can do, try and avoid any penalties if we can. And obviously this season, season 2, I'm sporting a new livery, as well as I am driving for a Mercedes again. You know, I had an alright manufacturer season in season 1. So I thought for season 2, I'm gonna drive for Mercedes again, I think. And obviously with that, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna create some new liveries as well. So I got same manufacturer, but same driver, but new sponsors, I suppose, as you could say if you want to. But this one, yeah, it was just a bit tricky. Not so much because of, it was just tricky because you're on the racing hards and you're on the racing hards for the whole race, and it was a bit like, yeah, you couldn't put, well, at least for me anyway. Didn't feel like I could push the car as much as I would like to. And with the Nords and with it being the Nürburgring, it's not. I'm alright at it. I'm not the best at Nürburgring. I will say I'm not the best at it. But, you know, I'm alright. I'm alright at the Nürburgring. I mean, apart from like this section coming up here, so like this area here, I always felt a bit slow in this area. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, I probably am going a little bit slower than what I probably could. I probably could push it a bit more in some of the corners, possibly. But you know, I always felt a bit slow in that section there. And then sometimes it does tell sometimes with the split times that I am a bit slower in that section. You know, that was always a section where people were able to catch up a bit. So there is a bit of a gap between me and 9th. You know, so 9th's a bit ahead, but I've still got Elo not too far behind, and we got the Swedish driver not too far behind him, behind Elo. You know, so you know, I've still got some. I'm not under any major threat, but I've still got at least 2 cars to be wary of. Especially by the fact that the Swedish driver did qualify in P2, if I remember correctly. So, you know, I know that his pace is fast. He has a fast pace. But it's a question of, can he continue with that pace throughout the race? That's the question. I spent a lot of this race having to always take like a defensive line. That was what my kind of race was for this round, was a lot of defending. A lot of time I had to take defensive lines, and it was fun. It was actually nice to be put under fire, because in that sometimes I'll get into a race and I'm just like in no man's land for like the whole race, and it's like, not so interesting. So we got Mike's going off there. Take over him. He goes wrong behind me. Goes into the wall. That does kind of bugger up the people who was behind me as well. So I do manage to open up a little bit of a gap between me and the Swede, because he has now been able to take over Elo. So I'm just going to... he goes a bit off. Don't know why. I'm not too sure what happened there. He's in the R8. So, bit of a Larry car sometimes, the R8. So, you probably just had a bit of a Larry moment for that one. So, I do manage to open up a little bit of a gap to there. But we're going to skip ahead now to actually, we're going to actually skip to lap 11. Because after that, from lap 5 to my pit lap, there was a bit of a gap. And there was no it was just me in no man's land. And so at this point, I pitted in on lap 8, came out on lap 9. So I pitted in basically like a few laps ago. My tyres aren't too bad now at the moment, but I've still got that Swede behind me. And you can see I'm still in P9, so I haven't lost any positions as of at the moment. And obviously didn't have to refuel because didn't need that to refuel in this race. It was just about changing tyres, and that was it. Bada bing, bada boom. But I'm doing all right compared to my car door number. I'm in P9. My car number, not my car number. Jesus Christ, I can't speak English. But no, my car number's 20, so in comparison to that, I'm doing pretty good. Now, as of at the moment, there is a gap. There is a little bit of a gap between me and the Swede in the P10, but he's going to slowly close that gap in. Because primarily just because he has the faster pace. He generally has the faster pace around the track than what I do, so he's going to slowly reel that gap in. So I'm gonna, I'm trying to catch up with P8, but it's just not happening. But as of at the moment, I'm feeling a bit safe at the moment. I'm like, you know what, I can take more of the normal racing line. I mean, I'm in a kind of a safe position, even though the Swedish guy is reeling in that time. I'm still in a pretty safe position, so I can try and push to catch up with April again. Unfortunately, it just ain't happening. This car was a bit tricky on the hards, so well, I found it a bit tricky for some reason. I don't know. It might have been something to do with my brake bias, maybe. My brake bias could have been a bit of a problem. It could have been a bit off. So I may have to experiment with this car's brake bias. Because brake bias is one of those things I never know exactly where to set it. But I always try and set it so, for me anyway, I always tend to set it so the back tyres tend to wear down just a little bit more faster than the fronts. But not like exceedingly more, but just a little bit more. Because since I always tend to run with like traction control just on a low level, just to give me that little bit of extra security in the corners, so I know then I can feel like I can push a bit harder in the corners. Even though technically traction control does slow you down, it's all about comfortability. And I feel a bit more comfortable with it being on like setting 1 or setting 2. While for Group 3, I tend to have it on setting 1, setting 2, it depends on what car I'm driving. Group 4, I normally just have it off. It's like anything below Group 4, I'll tend to have it off. Anything higher than Group 4, so Group 3, Group 2, Group 1, I'll tend to have it on like at least like level 1 or level 2. But then obviously with that, just that extra security of traction control, it feels like I can like have my back tyres wear down just a little bit faster than the front. So I've still got good ability to actually steer pretty nicely near the end of the race. But as you can probably see now, the Swede P10, he's managed to close that gap down, and he's just closing it and closing it and closing it. I think it's now at like 1 point. It looks like it's like 1.6, 1.3, 1.6. I can't, unfortunately. Again, I can't see the tyres properly from here. I'm going to see if I can see it. It's like a 1.5. So yeah, I was right, 1.6. So he's got it down to 1.5. He's now got it down to 1.4, and now it's down to 1.4. So it's slowly going down. And we've still got a couple of laps. So I've still got a comfortable gap, and I have managed to catch up a little bit with 8th place, which is nice. So at least I'm doing something right. There still is a bit of a gap between me and P8. Unfortunately, there's still a little bit of a gap there. But as you can see, the Swede, he is a little bit closer. And that bright orange Audi. He's just reeling me in slowly bit by bit. Cones all over the place. Okay, nice. I got to tidy it out through there. A little bit wide on the exit there, unfortunately, though. Little bit wide on the exit to there. Schumacher S. Sometimes I was a bit slow for that. Sometimes I did it right. Sometimes I just did it a little bit off. So look, what can I do? But again, at this point, my tyres are starting to wear down, so I do have to adjust for tyre wear. Right at this point. Coming up to the final chicane, the Swede is he's just getting closer and closer and closer, and now is the point where I'm starting to think, I do need to start thinking a bit more carefully about P10, because he is definitely he's in within slipstream range now, so it's like I do definitely need to take into consideration. So now it's like, now do I push to keep on trying to catch up with P8, considering the fact that P10 is catching me up anyway regardless, or do I ease off from P8 but concentrate more on making sure I'm staying far enough ahead of P10? And I think at this point I'm trying to balance it out a little bit, you know, so like, yeah, I'll push a little bit to try and at least keep close to P8, just in case if I get lucky I'll get in either in the slipstream, or if he goes a little bit wrong somewhere, I can take advantage of that, but also to not push too hard to cause myself to make a mistake, allowing P10 to catch up and potentially overtake. To try this corner, and a little bit better that time. Probably a little bit slow on the exit there, I think, maybe. But all of my attempts so far are failing. They are failing, and the Swede is just getting closer and closer. I can almost smell the orange paint coming off that car. So this is the point now where I think at this point now I'm just like, right, I need to stop chasing down P8 and I need to defend against P10. So now it's time to start getting back into defensive racing rather than fast racing. So you see already, boom, straight onto the defensive line. Now I thought there I was going to get a penalty, because to me that looked like quite a big cut, but apparently no. Apparently it's not a penalty. I do get a 1 second penalty in this race, which one part of it, because it was 2 half-second penalties. Now one of them I get why I got it, and then sounds like, alright, fair enough, I got it, I get why I got it, boom, fair enough. But the one part of it is like, I'm thinking like, I understand why I got it, but I was also thinking at the same time, but I gone wide there before, and I didn't get a penalty. So what was different about it this time around? That's what I don't get. That was what I didn't get at the time, and I still don't kind of get it. I mean, it's not the end of the world, and also at the same time, there's like bugger all I could do about it now. But it was a question in my head at that point. But as you can see, we are on the final lap, but the Swedish guy is right up is basically sniffing me arse. Basically, he's sniffing my arse right now. And so it is just full blown defensive racing now. Always having to take defensive lines to try and not allow him to take the opportunity to take. So it's like, I'm just going to take a very tight line here, the tightest line that I bloody could through that corner there. Going to Schumacher S. I think I do gain a bit of ground on here. I think he had a bit of a slow part there. Now it's here. I want to go a bit wide. So I get a penalty here. So I understand why the game wants to give me a penalty, because I went wide. But what I don't get is I've been wide there before. I've gone wide there before throughout this race, but yet I never got a penalty. That's what I don't get. Now here, Now at this point, it feels like to me that he was going to overtake, or at least be in a position where he could overtake me. But it felt like to me that I, not intentionally, but fortunately I misjudged it and it blocked him. So what I've decided to do here is I actually slowed down to actually allow him pass and to get ninth. Because to me, on that chicane, it felt like I blocked him off unfairly. Not intentionally, but unfairly. So for that, I thought I'm going to slow down, I'm going to let him take ninth, because I think at that point he would have overtaken me if my car didn't block him, which I thought was unfair on him at the time. So here we are now at Red Bull Ring at round 3, and we are in 4 cars on this race. Well, just going to get through the lineup very quickly. Bang, bang, bang. All these high-pitched little cars going. And you can see I qualify. So you can see where we qualify. I'm qualifying on this again, not great. There's me in P15. But again, that is, if there's one thing I definitely need to improve on for these FIA races, and actually to be honest, kind of races in general, is qualifying. Trying to get my qualifying times to be better, because in qualifying I always seem to be about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds off my pace to what I can get in practice. So I really need to try and get better at qualifying. It's the one thing I need to get better at, is qualifying. But yeah, but very quickly going back to the previous race at Nürburgring, I slowed at the end because at the time it felt like I blocked him unfairly. Go a bit wide there, but it felt like I blocked him unfairly, not intentionally blocking him, but unfairly blocked him. It was like, right, I'm going to get around this corner, because he would have had the inside at that point. So I'm going to get around this corner, going to let him overtake, and at least becoming P10. There you go. Now, yeah, I'm going, at this point I'm going a little bit faster than the Merc in front of me. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit of contact there between us, unfortunately. And unfortunately he goes off. Whether that was a misjudgment from him in the ways of him going a little bit too slow, or misjudgment from me, unfortunately there's not a lot that can be done right now about that. Not a lot I can do. Probably more likely a potential misjudgment from me there, but I was going for the inside, and it's just unfortunately just the tiniest bit of contact at just at the wrong time, unfortunately. But I have managed to get myself at the P11. So, no idea. So again, at the end of the first stop, I managed to climb up 4 positions. So all in all, not doing too badly. Not a bad start. Not the best start. The best start would have been me getting to the top 10. But all in all, not a bad start. You know, gaining 4 positions, not a bad start at all. Let's see if we take the up on this side here, and around we go. Have a look here. So I believe it's this lap. I think it is this lap, or it might be the next lap. I'll find out. Now I believe it will be the next lap. I'll point it out to you. All right. So now, we have unfortunately dropped down 1 position because the yellow Merc in front of me, I don't know if he took the inside or the outside at me at that point, but he obviously managed to take the corner a lot better than I did, and he managed to gain himself P11. So I'm now gone down to P12. But all in all, I'm still having quite a smooth race, and there was a lot of more kind of close racing in this as well, because you can see that a lot of us are all we're still pretty close together. And it was like this throughout a lot of the race. A lot of it was very close though. I think at one point it was literally, it was only like P1 and P2 that managed to kind of properly break away from the group. And I think from about P13 down to at near the end. It was about P13 to last place was sort of like broke off. So from like P3, maybe P4 to P12, we were all pretty close to each other throughout pretty much most of the race. So it was a good race. I'll say it was a good race. Now, we've got a Nissan in front of us. Let's see if we're going to take him on P2. So at this point, you will want to keep an eye on that Nissan. Because off he goes. He's gone. He's in the wall. There he is. Stuck in the wall. Oh well, what can he do? And then, all of a sudden, poof! He just magically reappears behind me. Just magically like that, he reappeared. Now at this point, I didn't actually realise he reappeared behind me until like now, just whilst going around that corner. I just looked at my rear view mirror and I thought, what the? He's there. I was just suddenly thinking like, where the hell did he come from? He bloody did the Houdini. He did the Houdini on me. Obviously must have been some kind of internet lag on his end, like his internet just suddenly just died compared to everybody else's internet. As you can see now, he's only on the yellow bars, so his internet must have just completely lagged out at that point, and then regained some connection, and then all of a sudden, boop, there he is. It was really strange. It caught me off guard. That did it. So 1 second he's there in front of me, next second he's flying off the track, next second he's not there, and next second, boosh, he's all of a sudden there, pulling a Houdini. So I'm going to call that guy Houdini. Now unfortunately at this point I'm leaving Houdini behind. At this point, see, Houdini, good at magic tricks, not so good at racing. But we have managed to get back into P10. We managed to climb up again. So this race was a bit of an oddish one again, as well, because it was the whole, you had to use the hard tyre, you had to use the medium tyre, and you had to use the soft tyre. You had to use all 3 tyre compounds in this race. And now obviously I started on mediums. Then I went to the hards, and then I finished on the soft tyres. So medium, hard, soft. That was my strategy, and I think it worked all right. It may not have been the best strategy, or I may have possibly utilised the medium tyres a bit more, so I did a little bit less on the harder tyre potentially. But I had my basic strategy. I think it worked alright. It was probably the safe strategy, a safer strategy, which is probably at least definitely a strategy that some other people will use. Now we have GT behind us in the BMW, but yeah, GT Volvo driver. And that's not a Volvo, mate, the BMW. You are a lie to yourself. No, I got him not too far behind me, but still in P10, so not gonna argue. I can't remember his name now. I think his name's like Tanakara. I think that's his name. A Spaniard in 9th. I've raced him with him in a few races before. It is a name that I recognise. Doesn't mean I remember it. I just recognise it. But I think his name's like Tanakara or Tankara. It's somewhere along those lines at least, anyway. But obviously he's decided to go for Mercedes again for this season, for season 2. Now the next season, whether it's going to be another exhibition season or if it's going to be the pre-season, I'm not so sure. I can't remember exactly how this works. But for the next season of series, I will be switching to Jaguar, I think. Alright, I'm going to be pitting in here. So we're going to pit in here, and we're going to be coming out on lap 7. But yeah, but I will be leaving Mercedes for the next manufacturer series after this one. And I've decided that I'm going to go and join Jaguar. Why Jaguar? No particular reason. I thought, what's the company I haven't driven for before, and what's a car I haven't driven actually that much before? And I thought, why the Jaguars? I haven't really driven the Jaguars before. So, I'm thinking, let's try Jaguar. So we do with Jaguar. So in the next whether it's pre-season or another exhibition season, you'll see me driving for Jaguar. Now after my pitting, I have unfortunately dropped down to 18th. I don't have to worry about 19th place whatsoever. They're miles behind. Now obviously the guy in the GTR then realised I was behind him, he jolted a little bit to the left, but that's because he was going to pit in. So at first I was wondering why he did it, but then I realised, oh, he's pitting in. Alright, fair enough. He just wanted to make sure that I got past him beforehand, so then he would actually have the ability to do that, to pit in properly. So I do manage to climb up. So thanks to some people pitting in, I have managed to climb up to P15. Okay, still nothing to boast about, but it's still a early race. There's still people people are still pitting, people are still going to pit. So there's still going to be different strategies, and some strategies for some people will work, some strategies for some people will not work. So there's still that possibility to gain some positions. So I'm not quite out the race just yet. But I still got Tanakara. I'm just going to call him Tan. Make it easier on himself. Still got Tan in front of me a little bit. As well as, I believe, a couple of other drivers whose names unfortunately I cannot see from here. I think one of them is actually Houdini. And we got someone in the Mazda. Unfortunately, I don't know the Mazda driver's name. So we shall have a look, see if I could see this dude's name from here. I think his name might be Morza. Yeah, it looks like his name's Morza. So we've got Morza and Houdini. But Houdini's decided to go into the pits. And that's Houdini pitting. Doing another disappearing act into the pits. So it's now skipped up to lap 14 because not too much happened between that cut and lap 14. Not a lot happened. This was after I pitted out from changing into my softer tyre. And yeah, I'm in P14 on lap 14. Now, unfortunately, his name I got his name completely wrong. His name is Takanara. So I'm still going to call him Tan. That's what I started calling him. So I'm going to call him Tan. But thanks to Tan and I think his name is like FMS RPS or something like that. But I'm going to call him FMS. But thanks to Tan and FMS having some penalties, I managed to gain 2 decisions to get into P12. Now FMS, he was in the Nürburgring race, but I don't think he finished very well in that race. And unfortunately here, now he had a faster pace than me, but I think at the same time he was also very. It wasn't so much that he's an aggressive driver, but he was a very hard pushing driver. But I think the problem is that I think sometimes though he was pushing too hard, and ultimately in the end it cost him. Because I think he actually qualified quite well in this race as well, and I think that his desire to push hard cost him in the end. But you know, he's managed to overtake me. Well, he's actually managed to overtake me and another driver who's got a weird name. I'm just going to call him Mio. I'm just going to call him Mio, just to make my life easier. So he's managed to go with me and Mio. So he's managed to gain some positions, but he's going to make mistakes because he pushes too hard. He gets too bold, he gets too rash, and he makes mistakes because of that. So I'm still in P12 though. So all in all, yeah, I'm not doing great, but I could be doing a lot worse as well at the same time. So I'm going to try and catch up with FMS, but with the way that he drives, it is a little bit difficult. Now, unfortunately here, I think it's here. Is it here? Yeah. Fortunately, both me and FMS get penalties. Now, unfortunately here, FMS, again, with his rash driving, his desire to push, he gets himself another half-second penalty, so now he's gone up to a 1 second penalty, because he went wide there. And now, unfortunately here, again, he's going to push too hard. He's going to be too rash with his driving. And he goes a little bit wide there. And he actually does score himself another half-second penalty there. So he now has a 1.5 second penalty. I still have my penalty, but looking at my penalty, it's only half a second. Oh, bit of magic going on there in front of me. But FMS, he pushes too hard, he makes mistakes because of it, and now he's kind of going to lose out quite badly in the race, because we are very near the end of the race. But Mio does manage to take advantage of the situation with me having my half-second penalty, and he takes 11th. So I go back to 12th again. I seem to like number 12. 12 was good for me apparently. The game just does not want to allow me to go any higher than 12. Well, at least in this bloody race. I mind you, I do get higher than 12 at some points. So, but this lap it's just 12, 12. Yeah, go higher 12. No, you're going back to 12, motherfucker. Get back in 12. So we're coming up to near the end of the penultimate lap. You know, there was a bit of a groove in front of me. So there is still potential to make some positions. So I think, you know, there is still potential for 9th, possibly even 8th. But I gotta push hard. But the thing is that I gotta push hard on this final lap to get that. So I got Mio in front of me, again, sit between Mio. Now he goes from the inside, but then he moves to the outside. Now he's lucky enough he managed to pull this off. You know, I think he was just a little bit braver on the braking there. I think. So I was kind of questioning why he went from the inside to the outside, because then I was right behind him at that point. Why he didn't do defensive driving, but he does push a little bit. But I think at this point he does have himself a half-second penalty here. So it's like, can I take advantage of that? Can I take advantage of that in this last lap? So, I'm trying to take advantage of Mio's half-second penalty. Now, I think his name's like Vertac or Viral or something, I can't see that. He darts very sharply. Virac dives very sharply there suddenly. Risky move, very risky move there. He managed to keep ahead, but a very risky move there from him. He could have easily caused us to both bugger up there. But can I overtake Virac? Mio's managed to, he served his penalty, he's managed to keep ahead. I tried taking it inside, and it's like, no, can't do it. Now, unfortunately, it's I can't do anything here. There's nothing I can do, so I'm going to come home 12th. But there were some penalties, so I actually finished in 19th place, because there were some penalties. So that's it for this video. I really liked it. There will be more in the future, So please remember to like and subscribe, and check out my other videos. So until next time, I will see you all at the finishing line.